A hot cocoa bar sign is on the menu today, and it lights up. Welcome to Up All Night DIY. I'm Monica. Thanks for joining me. I'm joining creative forces with these talented ladies, Dawn of Shabby Meets Bling, Martina of the Holiday Workshop, and Jody at Southern Seasons, along with a bunch of our crafty friends for the Because Gingerbread and Other Yummy Treats collaboration. I decided to make a light up hot cocoa bar sign, retro inspired of course. Let's get into it. I designed the shape of my sign in Photoshop and cut it out of MDF. I punched out the holes for my lights with my drill press, and I also designed the insert and printed it on cardstock, making it easier to trace onto my MDF. And we're ready to paint. So I paint the outer edge with 2 coats of CERAMCOAT white. I'm going to use a smaller brush to clean the paint from the holes. Now I'll paint the center with CERAMCOAT Surfboard. 2 coats should do it. I'll apply my vinyl lettering. I designed it in Silhouette Studio and cut it from red vinyl. I want to give the outside edge a candy cane pattern, so I'll mark out my lines with CERAMCOAT watermelon before painting them in. Generally speaking, I do like to kind of outline everything first, just like when I used to color in books. I would outline every little detail and then fill it in. So it's the same thing when I paint. I like to use the largest brush that fits in this space when I'm doing the filling in. I just think it overall makes for a nicer appearance. Now there's nothing wrong with using a smaller brush if you're more comfortable with that, but this is just my preference. Right, okay, let's paint in our characters. I've already sketched them onto the sign. I used a blue pencil so it wasn't so, obvious. Anyway, I'm using CERAMCOAT Maple Sugar Tan for my gingerbread faces, and of course, they'll get 2 coats. I also want to say, don't be afraid to turn your project as you feel necessary. Whatever's most comfortable for you to maintain control, that's what you should do. The boy, our soda jerk, or I guess in this case our hot choc jerk, will get one of those wee paper hats that they used to wear back in the day. I'm using CERAMCOAT Oyster White for this. This is like a slightly warmer white. So I'll outline it first with a 00 liner brush, and I'm going to paint it in using a small flat brush. I'll paint the mug with Oyster White as well, and I'm going to outline it first and then paint it in again with 2 coats. So let me ask you, do you guys call it a hot chocolate, hot choc, hot cocoa? What's your preference? Here we mostly call it hot choc, but I thought hot cocoa looked better on the sign. I'm going to give him a big old bow tie in CERAMCOAT Parsley, and our waitress, she's going to get a Parsley hat too. I'm giving her a little pillbox hat, the kind the roller skating waitresses used to wear. Now let's add the marshmallows. Lots of marshmallows. This is just regular old CERAMCOAT white that I'm using for the marshmallows. And we'll fill them in real quick. A touch of Mississippi mud for the hot cocoa. There are so many marshmallows you can hardly even see the choc, but that's okay. I used the Mississippi mud to define where his eyes will go by painting a wee line with a dip in the middle. And I'm going to dot his nose and elongate it just by slightly pulling to the right. And I'll do the same for her. The cup gets a watermelon stripe and 2 parsley stripes. Time for some shading with Volcar Floating Medium. I prep my brush with the medium. I'll scoop up some Surfboard onto one of the corners of the brush, side loading, and I'm going to stroke it on my plate to load the bristles. Now let's shade our marshmallows, giving them some definition. It's kind of hard to see, I think, for you guys, but it'll be easier to see, once you get an up-close picture of it. Okay, moving on. We're going to add some shading to the gingies, again with Mississippi Mud, right here on his face, and then over here on her. Yeah, let's do a wee bit down here. That's a little much. So I'm going to come in with a brush just loaded with the medium and kind of clean up that edge. Works like an eraser. Yeah, that's better. And a wee bit more on him. Let's add a couple wee dots on his face, and I'm going to go opposite on her face. I just think the little freckles add a little bit of character. Know what I mean? With maple sugar, I'll float down the side of the cup, and let's do along the rim, and I'm going to do the handle too. There we go. Starting to come to life, right? You know what? Let's add some to the marshmallows too. Give them a toasted look. I'm going to shade around the inside edge of the blue with Tahiti Blue. That's also a CERAMCOAT color. And I don't think I mentioned that the Mississippi Mud is an AMERICANA color, but I'll list all of the colors and brands in the description box for you. I'm just reloading my brush here. Get a little more paint on there, a little more medium. And we'll just finish this up. And I think I'm going to shade around the elements here to add some interest. I'm just going to shade around the lettering really lightly because I'm going to come back in and add a drop shadow and some highlights to them in a little bit. So we'll go light. Yeah, see, we're just barely giving it a shadow. I want to keep it nice and soft here. There we go. Now we'll go around the gingerbreads and the mug, and then we'll do that bottom hot chocolate bar lettering. Are you guys ready for the holidays? Not me. I don't even have my tree up yet, and it's December 7th. Ugh. But I'm hoping to get that done, at least partially done, tomorrow, with any luck, and then get the rest of the house done over the weekend. I don't know, I try to get it done the first weekend of December. I don't really like to put it up right after Thanksgiving. I guess most people do it on Black Friday, and that weekend after Thanksgiving. But I like to wait a little bit because I keep it up until January 6th at least. So it's a lot of extra cleaning. Anyway, okay, so now I'm dipped out in their cheeks with sun-kissed coral. I didn't really want to use the watermelon because I thought it was too red. This has kind of got a pink tone to it. And I'm just using the back of my paintbrush handle. Now for some details. Let's give his hat some wee lines in CERAMCOAT Spring Green. We'll outline his bow tie also, and her hat as well. We'll give the tie some stripes too. And you know what? We'll stripe her hat as well. Now some red stripes on his hat and his bow tie. And we'll give her hat some red stripes too. White swirls for their cheeks and some stripes. And now for her. Swirly, swirly. Oh, that one didn't work. Let's go again. I got a red button on her hat too. They need some white icing hair, some loopy loops for him, and she'll get curls. I'll add some outlining with Hippo Grey. Oh, and you know what? I almost forgot. Their eyes and mouths. Oh yeah, and I dipped out at a pearl necklace for her too. Some eyebrows for him, and a cheeky smile. Let's finish outlining him. Marshmallows. And we'll outline the cup too. And now she gets la lashes and eyebrows. Oh, of course her cute wee smile. And then I'm going to outline around her. I'm keeping the outline on the looser side. I give the lettering a spring green drop shadow to the left of the letters. I know I've said this before, but I'm never really sure how much of this kind of thing to show you guys. I don't want you to get bored, but then I have other people who say they like it and they learn from it, so it can be a quandary. But what I'll do is I'll show you all this one, and then I'll kind of jump ahead on the hot cocoa, because it's basically the same thing. And I'm going to highlight them too, so I'll show you some of that. Gonna dip dot some white highlights on their eyes, nose, and dot clusters. Now here I forget to do her nose, but I do add it later on. And she needs some lipstick in watermelon. Mwah. Okay, now the white highlights for the lettering, all to the right this time. So just opposite the green really. And again, I'll show you the holiday, and we'll kind of pan through the hot chocolate bar. I really think that the drop shadow and the highlight just make the letters pop so much better. It just takes it up a notch. You know what I'm saying? Good stuff. And we'll do a quick stroke highlight to the cup. Their faces need some highlight too, just real quick. You didn't think I'd forget my star stickers, did you? Of course not. Just clusters above and below the cup. There we go. And I'm going to outline these in Tahiti Blue. Make them stand out. Parsley lines in the white of the candy cane trim, and spring green outline for the red sections. I'll outline both sides of the candy cane trim with spring green also. I've had some ask me how I keep my lines so straight, and what I do is I move my entire arm from the elbow back. I don't really move my wrists so much. It's more of a full arm movement, and I go kind of quick. I think that helps. At least it does for me, so you might want to give that a try. Maybe it'll work for you too. Okay, now we'll do the outside. Oh, no, we're finishing up the top. And then we'll do the outside. Another thing I do is if I'm doing around a corner, I start a little before the corner starts to round, if that makes sense. I find it easier. And our last bit of painting here will be a white highlight stroke for the candy cane, just down the center of it. Yay, done. Now I'm going to sprinkle on some glamour dust and spray it with the clear matte sealer before we add the stand and the lights. I'm using some scrap 1x2 to create a stand. I already marked where it's going to go. Don't mind the messy paint splatters on the back. Okay, so this is going to get a hinge, so I drilled pilot holes where the hinge is going to go. And I'm going to add this with wood glue and hot glue. Only this part of the stand will get glued. The other piece will be free, just attached with the hinge. This is a 1.5 inch utility hinge. And as I said, only the top section is glued, the bottom is free. And this is going to work like a picture frame backer. See? Like this. All that's left to do is to push the lights into place. And I'm going to use a set of 20 lights, pop them right in there, and we're done. Here's the final look. This is going to be such a sweet addition to my holiday decor. I really love it, and I hope you guys like it too. Please be sure to check out Dawn, Martina, and Jody's channels. You'll find links for them, as well as the playlist in the description box, along with a list of my supplies. You're going to want to watch all of the creators on this playlist. It's a fun bunch of amazingly creative friends who have tons of inspo for you. Show them some love. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. Stay creative, my friends. Thanks for hanging with me. See you next time. Up all night with Monica.